patches work in the first place. We have two different ways that we can view the body. One way is the traditional biochemical view. So what do? We have a healthy diet. Hopefully we take vitamin supplements. Of course, the drug companies have built multi-billion-dollar businesses on giving people drugs that cause very specific chemical reactions within the body. And of course, this model is valid. So we know that when we have a certain type of food with a certain type of nutrient, that our body will know what to do with it. And the thousands of different chemical reactions that occur within the body at any one time are all orchestrated by our cells through a very sophisticated system of communications that go on inside of the cell and outside the cell. Now, there's another way, though, that we can view the human body, and that is based on biophysics. And what that simply means is that we are going to be looking at the electrical and electromagnetic and other energetic structures that influence the body. It's very well known that the electrical field around the cell, if it didn't exist, there would be no life. It's very well known that electrical impulses travel through the brain to cause muscle contractions, which allow us to move. So without the electrical and electromagnetic properties of the body, there would be no life. And so the electrical and electromagnetic and the chemical or biochemical systems, they work together in harmony. Now, why is this important? Let's use aging as an example. How many of you would like to live past 100 but look 30 years old in the process? Okay. All right. So, what we know is that if we eat a healthy diet, if we exercise, if we drink lots of water, we're going to die. Eventually. Hopefully we'll avoid disease. But eventually we're gonna age and we're gonna die. So we know that even if we take vitamin supplements and we do all these things to maintain our health, following the biochemical model, that we're still gonna age and die. We know that. So what that means is that if we want to retain our youth, our energy, our vitality, that we have to be looking at life and aging in a completely different way. And this is where the biophysical model of the human body comes in place, and this is where tools like LifeWave come in. Because we are able to now facilitate reactions within the cells and within our body that have never been possible before. So before we get too much further down the road, I think I'd like to do a demonstration. And what we will do is simply demonstrate how the electrical properties of the body can dramatically affect the biochemistry. If you want to read more about this, in the late 1960s, early 1970s, there's a book by the name of The Body Electric. And in this book, it's Dr. Robert Becker, he talks about how the bioelectrical properties of the body control the biochemistry. So that means when you have a thought, and that creates a nerve impulse which travels through the nervous system, the electrical signal will activate a chemical reaction within the muscle, allowing muscle contraction. The muscle fibers are able to come together. That won't happen unless there is an electrical impulse. And there's many other examples of this that occur within the cells. So what it simply means is that bioelectrical and biomagnetic properties control biochemistry. And this is very powerful information because LifeWave technology is based on exactly this, that we can use the bioelectrical and energetic properties of the body to control the body biochemistry and achieve levels of health, pain relief, anti-aging that are not possible through other means. So for this first demonstration, let's see, I would like a man, preferably a fairly big man, that's healthy, no type of pain. This is not a pain relief demo yet. Somebody that's a big healthy guy, maybe an athlete. There's got to be a big Norwegian guy in this room. I've seen 100 of them. They're all giants, okay? Just one big all right, here we go. Now, you're not Norwegian, then. No. You're Danish, okay? I couldn't get a Norwegian in Norway. I can't believe this. All right. Okay. Your name for the audience, please?
My name is Jens Henderson, and I'm from Denmark.
Very good. So what we're going to be doing is a simple muscle test. And you can see there's a little bit of disparity here in our size, so I'm a little bit at a disadvantage, but I'm not going to worry. This isn't a contest. Are you a righty or a lefty, by the way?
I'm a righty.
You're a righty, okay. So what we're going to do is a simple muscle test. And this is simply going to measure results before and after. That's all we're going to do right at the moment. So the first thing that we do is take a baseline. So I'm going to ask you to, in a moment, to put your right arm up. And on the count of 3, I'll apply some pressure. And I'm not going to try to force the arm down. I'm going to apply a little pressure at once, and then just take a general measure of the muscle strength. So if any of you are interested in this, you can simply look up on Google or whatever you use, Bing, muscle testing or kinesiology. Okay, so go ahead and face me. No, we're going to do it this way. You've done this once before. Okay, well, we're going to do it this way. Do you have a cell phone on? Okay, so we always want to remove cell phones because they actually harm the electromagnetic field of the body. And you probably have patches on. You don't? You have Eon on. Okay. All right, so on the count of 3, I want you to resist as much as possible. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that was a nice, strong response. Okay, you can relax now. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to start to work with the bioelectrical properties of the body. So I want you to first take the back of your hand and put it on top of your head, just like that. Yep, perfect. All right, and then on the count of 3, we're going to repeat. Okay, resist as much as possible. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now was there any difference? It was weaker. So you probably don't want to walk around like that. Okay. So now that's fairly remarkable. He didn't get an injection of any kind of drug. There's no chemicals entering the body. We just simply changed the way the body is positioned. Let's do the same thing, but now the palm of the hand is up on top of your head. Perfect. Okay. And on the count of 3, resist as much as possible. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, so there's a difference then. Okay. Anybody know why there is a difference?
No. You want to know, please?
Okay, so what happens is in electrophysiology, we can measure electrical charges along the surface of the body. And what happens is we get a positive charge on the palm of the hand, we get a negative charge on the back of the hand, and so forth. And what happens is that if you put a negative charge to the positive charge on top of your head, it will disrupt the way energy moves through the body. This affects the nervous system, and now the muscles become weaker. They can't form a strong contraction. On the other hand, if we put the positive palm on top of the head where there's a positive charge, now the signal is reinforced. It's like closing an electrical circuit, and the muscles can communicate, the brain and the muscular system can communicate more efficiently, and so we get a strong contraction, and we pick that up. Does that all make sense? Yes. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what's amazing about this is that energy fields travel over a distance. Okay, we all know if we've played with magnets that a magnetic field stretches over a distance. And the human body has not only electrical fields, but it also has magnetic fields. And there are magnetic fields coming out of the palm, surface of the skin, all over, the heart, the brain. And now we will use that information. So go ahead, let's step over here a little bit so everybody can see better. Are you up for another test? Okay. So first thing we'll do is now, instead, I'm going to use my hand. And I want you to hold your arm up, and I'm going to put the back of my hand to the center of his chest. There's no touching, okay, except my hand going up here. And I want you to resist as much as possible. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, we're going to turn around again and use the palm of the hand. And on the count of 3, resist. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Any difference? Okay. So again, it's the same thing. The magnetic fields are interacting. Does that all make sense?
Yes.
Do you want to see one more?
Yes.
Are you up for another one? This one's a little weird. You sure? No, not like that. I don't do this one very often, but I tell you what, I'm in the mood. All right, I don't do this in public actually, but we'll do it. Okay, let's do again a baseline test. Just hold your arm up, and on the count of 3, resist as much as possible. 1, 2, 3. Okay, nice strong reaction. Okay, now, our electrical fields, magnetic fields, energy fields of the body, they're controlled by our mind and by our heart. And so what that means is that as human beings, we're capable of manipulating these energy fields. I've been studying Qigong, which is a form of martial art which focuses on how you circulate energy in the body. And so with this system, it's actually called an internal martial art. If any of you are interested in it, you simply stand like this for 30 minutes, 45 minutes at a time, and this will strengthen the energy flow through the body. You're just simply bending at the knees and relaxing, and then you breathe in a specific way. And you visualize how energy flows through the body. And with this, you can end up controlling how energy moves through the body. Now we're going to do one more test, and I'm going to stand over here for a moment. And I'm going to circulate my own energy. Okay? I want you to hold your arm up. And now I want you to resist as much as possible. 1, 2, 3. And now back again, please. Resist as much as possible. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you're all back to normal. Thank you very much. So, no one's going to pick a fight with me later, I guess. But in any case,